Okay. Okay, it says that I'm not live. Can you guys hear me? Let me see. Okay. All right. It did end, so let me know. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, I see some people talking. Hello, but I'm not sure if I'm still here. Okay, okay, good. Because I got a notification that says restream stopped. Do I needed to restart? So I wanted to make sure. Awesome, good. Okay, thank you. I was really weird that my computer told me that the restream it was their technical issue and that I had to start over. And I'm like, what? Awesome. Hi, Francie. Hi, Penny. Hi, Walter. Hi, Nikki. Hi, I said hi to Shirley and Karen already. Hello. Hi, Virginia. Welcome, you guys. I am gonna kind of play off of Walter and I am still here. Yay. I'm gonna play off on Walter and Sean's live and use the same stamp set. The Proud Hugs tonight. Awesome. I'm glad you guys can hear me. Hi, Brandon. Hi, Luann. I hope everyone's having a good day. You're gonna have to forgive me. I know it's a bright light behind me, and I have a tank top on, and my hair's a mess. It is 85 degrees in Iowa today. It's nuts. It's so warm. I'm not ready for 85 in March. And of course, it's going to be like 40 on Monday. So, I've already got this stamp. I'm going to stamp this out. I already stamped this out on some Perfect Blend cardstock with some Raven Detail ink. And we're going to do a little bit of fun stuff first and then play. I kind of have an idea. Hi, Mom. But it might go a little crazy from here. Yeah, Francie. I mean, I walked outside at lunch and I was like, whoa, I took my jacket off. But I mean, we have all the windows open. Unfortunately, I want to do some ink blending, so I don't have my fan on because it's gonna go poof everywhere. So I'll be fine. As long as you guys don't have to smell me. No, I'm just kidding. I sprayed myself down. I am gonna make a card for my daughter. She lives in Florida, for those of you who I think I've said that before, and I don't think she watches this, but if she does, turn it off, Haley, don't watch. We're going to make her a sunshine card. So I don't know if anyone knows what a sunshine event is, or a sunshine box is, but it's usually like a box you send somebody when they're not feeling well or they're having a bad time, and it's like yellow. So we're going to make like a yellow card tonight. We're going to use a lot of yellow. So, I do want to say that I have some links in the description, a couple of the description box below. Okay, Francie. They are affiliated links. So, which just means I might get a little commission if you use one of those links to purchase an order. I do want to remind you that it's Freebie Friday. So if you place an order, I believe it's $25. Penny, tell me if I'm wrong. There is a layering egg stamp that or stencil that will go in your cart automatically, that will ship. It has to be a shippable order, or if it's like a gift card, you're going to end up paying shipping for it. And that's good till Sunday night. So, and then I know that is one thing I wanted to say for that, and then let's get started. So we're going to do the messy stuff first because I want to make sure it dries, but at 85, it should dry fast. Hi, Annie. Oh, thank you. I'm hotter than Central Texas. Thanks, Susan. That's really sweet of you. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this down because I kind of played with a bunch of stuff. I grabbed some shimmer glaze. Oops, we gotta switch our camera around. Sorry about that. Let's do that quick. I did grab some shimmer glaze in the limoncello. There was a handful of these left. Okay, thank you. Yep, Freebie Friday. Into your cart automatically with a $25 shippable order. I also grabbed some lemon drop embossing powder and some pearl candy coat. So I'm not sure if we're going to use all of that, but I grabbed that stuff. So I'm going to grab some Not Your Mama's cardstock here because I need a 4 1/4 by, I'm just going to do 5. I don't care. I'm going to cut it down. So I'm just going to do an A2 card panel to start. And then if we need to cut it down, we can. So I have some of my, I came up with a fun fold. And the reason I'm coming up with a fun fold is because this is the fun fold this month. That's the Create Your Own Ending, the CYOE challenge on the Brutus Monroe Facebook page. And it's fun folds or folds. So I'm going to create a fun fold. I grabbed the Sunrise stencil. This was a freebie during March Madness. Oh, hi, Sarah and Aunt Mary and Uncle Dean. Hello, hello, hello. That's awesome. Hi, Ruth. From Ruth, I was saying it's 85 degrees here in Guttenberg in Iowa, so it's hot. So, and so this was a freebie that was with March Madness. It is a Monroe Madness. It is available. It's called the Sunrays stencil. We're going to use that tonight. And then we're going to use the Puppy Hearts, or the Heart Paw, which was a freebie Friday from a couple weeks ago, because I think that's going to tie in nicely with our card panels. So first we're going to do the Sunrise stencil, because I think what we're going to do is we're going to do that with this shimmer glaze and hope it dries in time. It should. Then you can use the yellow, if this sells out, because there is only a limited stock of this, you can use yellow chroma glaze. I just am using up my stash. It's freezing in the Bay Area. Ruth, tell me what is freezing to you, because I bet you it's beautiful in my opinion. I am not an 85-degree weather person. I am a 65 to 75 degree. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're just going to slather this on. I'm not using any pixie spray this time. I'm going kind of wild and crazy. Try to get the rays in here. And then if I don't get it flat with the sun part, we can fix that. This is the same stencil I used last week during for my canvas. So hopefully I didn't make this too thick. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. Oh, look at that. It's about perfect. So we're going to put this off here to the side to dry and hope that the wind doesn't take it away. We'll put something heavy on it. In this heat, it should dry pretty quickly. 58 is freezing to you. Okay, yep. Yeah, Susan, I have seen sunshine boxes before, and I thought that, like I said, I'm taking the thing off a sunshine box and making a sunshine card, which is going to be pretty much yellow. Okay, so that was the base of that. Now, I did not link this, so, Penny, if you wanted to. This is the buttercream. It is in stock. I just forgot about it till it was already done. So we got up to 70s, that's perfect weather. I was hoping that the 80, it was supposed to be 75. And at lunch, like I said, it was 85. And I was like, holy cow. And this is where we're going to get kind of crazy and fun. Let's see here. I got to come back. I missed something here. The coldest winter I ever spent was the summer I spent in San Francisco. I am a winter girl. I don't mind winter. I mean, I'm not ready for winter right now. I'm ready for spring. It's going to be morel season around here any day. Well, not any day, probably a couple weeks, another week or couple weeks yet. But I'm ready for a little bit. But then by the time July runs around, I am ready for cold weather. I think this one we're going to turn sideways because of what my plan is, which I haven't showed you guys yet. So we're going to go ahead and put this on here, and I'm going to go ahead and it's going to be kind of a heart, but we're going to cut it down. So it's more about the pattern. I don't care so much if you can't tell the heart part. For those of you who have not seen this before, I have put a piece of thin metal plating taped to the bottom of my glass mat, which has made my glass mat magnetic for now, because it's just easier for me. And then we're going to grab there a breeze came through. Brutus Monroe embossing ink, which is my favorite because it works perfectly. And then I'm using a Tim Holtz dauber, because when I do embossing powder, I like to daub. I don't like to use a blending brush, because we're just going to go in and, like I said, this doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to cut it down. But we're kind of really pressing the lemon, the yellow color. Now, my puppies are not going to be yellow. I haven't decided. what color we're going to make our puppies yet. I grabbed some brown tri-blend markers, but we'll see. All right. So I hope everyone's having a good week. I am so glad it's Friday. It's great. Yes, Jamie, happy Friday. Oh, yeah, I haven't asked. Well, we got the birthday box coming out here soon and things like that. So I'm guessing, I think he said later this year. I don't know if he originally told us it would be like April, May. So it's going to be coming. All right. So I'm just going to kind of look. You can't, I mean, you can kind of see that. It's not perfect in every area, but it's good enough for me. Now, what I do want to say is off to the side, I'm going to be very careful to show this. I have my stencil tray full of water with a little bit of the stencil, and I just throw, and look, if you look very carefully, you'll see I still have my stencils in here from last Friday. So you can do that. I will say they started to dry out, but they were pretty clean. So I just rinsed them good and threw them back in. All right. Yeah, cooler is better. I mean, my thoughts are is you can always put more clothes on. So, all right. So this is the lemon drop embossing powder. I thought this would be fun. It's actually quite windy too, to be honest with you. So I actually I didn't open the windows. I only opened a few windows downstairs. I had one window in the bedroom open today, but I didn't open my craft room during the day because I thought with my luck and the wind, it would grab something and blow it. And then Fletch would get up here and he would be eating stuff. So I thought I better just wait. I mean, I promised to do. I probably gonna turn my fan back on after we do this part. I just knew that it would blow my embossing powder everywhere. So got that. All right, you ready? We're gonna heat set this lemon drop. And for those of you, I mean, that's my favorite part, watching it heat set. So right now it's kind of, it's not shiny. So we're gonna heat up my tool a little bit on the side. And yes, Francie, I'm not using tweezers. I promise. We promise. My fingers will be safe. And we're just gonna, you can kind of see it. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but it melts. Like I said, we're doing yellow, tone on tone. Love this. It's fun. Yes, here comes the magic. I took a couple days off from doing any crafting, so I didn't have to do the magic of TV. Okay, yep. I promise, Francie, my fingers were good. So I'm gonna kind of see, you can see it now shiny. So we've got that. Next, we're gonna do our little coloring here. I think I'm gonna kind of go with a brown color just because I want it to pop a little bit, even though most of our card is yellow. So I grabbed a couple of tri-bin markers here, the Spectrum Noir, and then I have the tan shades and the golden brown shades. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to grab my little cheaters here. And I was super excited, you guys. I have to show you this. I went by the dollar store this week and look at what I found in the craft section. I found this little stand, which is perfect for my Christopher brushes. And then I have some little eyebrow brushes. These are little eye makeup brushes that I use as well. And it takes up a lot less room. The bottom one doesn't have anything in it because it will stick out. I probably need to put something in it. I'll probably put a glue bottle in there or something, but you know what? I only watched part of it, Francie. I haven't had a chance to. So for those of you, if you don't watch, Monday nights, we have Live with Sarah. Make It Monday with Sarah. Tuesday, Christopher Allen, the owner goes live. On Wednesdays, we have Monroe, the Men of Monroe, and with Walter and Sean. Thursdays is Christopher, and then I'm live on Fridays. So that is our schedule as of right now. So I know they had some fun, beautiful cards. I just, Wednesday was a day that I did not sleep well. I was up at 1:30 in the morning and didn't fall back asleep till like almost 6 o'clock. I just couldn't sleep. I took, Fletch needed to go outside, which was fine. And then when I came up, for some reason, I just was laying there I was wide awake. Usually I can fall back asleep at least fairly quickly, but I think he was kind of crazy. We had some bunnies in the backyard, so he took off after them. And then I'm not kidding you, he was like all revved up going, vroom, 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 vroom. And the second I took his collar off, he took running so fast. And hi, Shalana. How are you? Yes, they're fun to watch. And like I said, they're on my list for this weekend. So I'm going to finish watching that and Christopher's Live. I watched part of it, but that's what I do on Saturday when I can't catch up. So Wednesday night, I literally sat and. Uh-oh. Sorry about that, you guys. There must have been a dog that walked past. And Fletch is crazy about other dogs walking past. We can't break him of that habit. So if he was loud, I apologize. But I kind of sat in a chair and zoned out most of Wednesday because I was half asleep. But I know that the projects were amazing because I've seen them. All right, sorry about that. I did catch a little bit of the live last night and a little bit of the live Tuesday night, but yeah, Ruth, you got to check them out. They're awesome. They're so fun to watch and they craft so well together. So I'm not doing anything super fancy. I add a little bit of color around there, but on the outside edges, but I'm only going to do a 2-color blend because you guys don't really want to sit here and watch me color all night. You don't have to do a 3-color blend. I think I do more 3-color blends when I'm coloring on my own and I have a big area, or if I'm doing like florals, something like that, or something more realistic. Like if I was going to do a wagon or a pan for, not a pan, but like a watering bucket or something like that. I'm just reading what's good. I need to catch up with yeah, that's Shalana. I'm the same way. It's been catching up this week. There's been a lot going on. This and that. So I have some fun, exciting news. I have family coming to visit me this weekend. So that is super exciting. I'm going to use a different brown on the ears, the spots, because this is the brown I'm going to use on the little puppy. So this is the mommy dog. And the other one's going to be my little girl dog. And I'm going to be giving her a hug. And then I'm going to use my favorite stamp. The first stamp I ever used by Brutus Monroe is going to be our sentiment. I'll show you that in a few minutes. So I'm going to add that little right there. We're going to add this brown to the bottom of his tail just to give it some other colors. Yes, I'm excited. We're going to have fun. They'll be here this weekend, for a few days. I'm going to take a day off just before my birthday. And my big sister's birthday is right before mine, but so and hopefully they'll get to see her too, but it'll be fun. It's been a year since they've been down here, so we'll have some fun. Hope the weather's not horrible. Last year they were here. They went home. They stayed an extra day because there was a blizzard going on back home in Minnesota. I don't think there's anything in the works for that this year. So we're going to color our little puppy dog opposite. Yes, the April birthdays. Woohoo! Let's bring them on. Bring them on. So actually, Sunday? I don't know if it's Sunday or Monday is the first birthday. My boss's birthday is coming up. I don't remember if it's Sunday or Monday. I can't remember if it's the 30th, 31st, to be honest with you. That's horrible of me. I should know it, but I don't off the top of my head. All right, I'm going to color in the dark ears. So we're going to do a little bit of die cutting. I grabbed a few extra dies because I wasn't sure. I thought we might be die friendly with our extra pieces. And then for some added fun, when is my birthday, Shalana? My birthday is April 7th. So it's a week from Monday. I'm going to grab a bright yellow Olo marker because I want to we're going to add the accent that yellow with this. And then Christopher's is a week later on the 13th. And Penny's, yours is the 14th, right, Penny? And I know we got a couple other birthdays in there too. But I don't have all of those in my head. Okay, we've got this. The stamp set is in stock April 12th. Okay, so the opposite. Yours is the 12th, his is the 13th. Okay. I don't believe the die is still in stock, you guys. I am sorry about that, but I am going to use it because I have it. I think this is a fun stamp set to have. Yes, that's right. Okay, Shalana, yours is the day before. So woohoo, look at that. Birthday party week. I love this because I love the sentiments. I'm so proud of you. I'm your mama now. I'm your papa now. I love you. There hugs. You know, there's leaves, there's hearts, there's some, it's just a good stamp set to have for a lot of occasions. I mean, you could pretty much use it for anything. And this is for I believe I have it written down, Shalana, for you. I do, because I have a list with some, I don't have, I got to get some of the other new members' birthdays because I haven't put that out there yet, but I had most of them from last year. I'll have to do that this weekend and just say if anyone wants to give me their birthdays. All right, I'm going to quick line this die up. Now, I know somebody was talking about this last week. I'm going to, for me, and they said they had some issues. Oh, this was my other fun Dollar Tree buy, is I bought a new little thing for my washi tape. I don't know if it's going to work the best because this isn't the best washi tape, but I got tired of trying to pick it with my fingers. But our Brutus Monroe dies are fabulous. They line up so that you can just look to see the white edges so that they're kind of perfect around. And then just going to kind of hold that up. So I kind of just eyeball it so I can see white evenly all the way. August 9th, well, you know what, Nikki, August is a good month too. My family is a little bit weird. My mom and dad's birthdays are in February, or my dad's birthday was, my mom's birthday is. My big sister and I birthday, there were 3 days and 3 years apart in April. And then my brother and sister, my younger brother and sister, are 2 years and the exact same day. Isn't that crazy? So, yeah, Shalana, your daughter's 4-1, birthday's 4-2, your angel daughter's 4-5, and you're 4-6. That is craziness. In my sorority, I had 2 girlfriends, one whose birthday was 7 days after mine. And then we had another girlfriend of ours, Amy, hers was 7 days. So we had 1 week apart between the 3 of us. So it was kind of fun. We all had our birthdays at the same time. All right, I got to check this out. Make sure, I'm just making sure I think I have a spot I missed here. We're going to kind of heat set that quick. Like I said, I don't know if that other one's going to set up for us. I'm going to do something we're not supposed to do. I'm going to kind of heat it up a little bit from the back side. Don't do this. Yeah. Because it will bubble, because this is not a clear. But I'm going to help it a little bit. Just move it real fast. And let it kind of, because I really do want to use this panel. It's starting to set up. It's starting to set up. It might be the last part. Okay, so now we've got all that done. Let's start working on our card and see what else we want to do. Susan, yours is March 30th. So you there, March 30th. You're the start of the birthday season because I think you're the 30th, and my boss, I believe, is the 31st. So yeah, that's awesome. All right. I took my phone book cardstock and I made an A2 card base out of it. I cut it in half at the 4.5, and then I scored it at 5.5 to make a top folding card. So I haven't done anything with this. What college did I attend, Samantha? I attended Cole College in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and I am an AOPI, Alpha Omicron Pi. Is this my sorority? So, which was found at Barnard College. So, I have a little other things cut down. So I took the second half, and this piece is 4.5 by 4.25, and I scored it at well, actually I scored it at 4, but a 1/2 inch. So I got a 1/2 inch flap. So we're gonna put this in here like this. And that might be where we use our sunny piece. Our sunny piece might end up going on the inside because it might not dry, and I can always put it in last. And then, where's my other piece here? Oh, I have the other, here it is. And then I cut the other piece down to 3.5 by 4. So we're gonna have 2 flaps on our card. It's gonna go like this. I mean, you could do it, I mean, the person can do it either way, but I'm gonna try to flap it so it goes like this, okay? So we're gonna do this. So let's get our card base put together. And then we'll decide how we're gonna all decorate it. Because I grabbed some pattern paper too. I thought we'll just grab some stuff. So I was kind of just thinking, I know there was some of the bunnies are kind of out of stock and or they're limited status. So I didn't want to really use the bunnies tonight. I thought I would make a fun yellow card. Yellow is not a card, I think, a color a lot of people use on cards that often, except for on flowers. And then kind of pull in from the stamp set that Walter and Sean used on Wednesday. I have one in mind for next week too. Hi, Christopher. How are you? I'm so excited. I had a nice little conversation with the wild woman today, and I can say that because you know who I'm talking about. So that was fun. We had a nice little conversation to catch up today. So I did say his name because we were talking about your birthday, Christopher, that it's coming up because it's birthday weekend, starting with Susan's in the chat on Monday. So I just added some double-sided type. Yes, we don't have, but okay, so you are restocking. That's awesome. Yes, I know everyone's loving the release and it is fabulous. And I am going to play with it tomorrow because there's some that I haven't used yet and get some of those samples pictures taken. So Christopher, we are making a sunshine card off of like a sunshine box for my daughter and the fun folds. So I'm excited to use the bunny friends because I haven't played with that one yet. And I did pull the retro flowers layering stencil out because I thought that would be fun to play with too. So I'm just eyeballing this and using the score line to just kind of line it up. For this type of a fold, you can use any size flap you want. You could do a top and side folder, you know, like if you were using an A2 card base. What I mean by that is that you could have one flap coming from the top. Like this flap could come from the top and you could have this flap from the side, but I wanted to do an A2 card base using all the yellow. So just using that. So there's no specific measurements needed except probably your card base. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfectly centered, but eyeball it just enough so that, and I put my flaps on the inside because we're going to use that panel that's drying on the top. We're going to do this is going to be, and we're going to have to cut it down a little bit, but we're going to cut down a little bit and that's going to hide those flaps. Look at that. You can already start to see some of that shimmer in there. Hopefully it will dry in time, but if not, you guys get the idea. This is going on the inside. I should have gotten one done as soon as I came home from work today. All right, so let's close up our card. We need to decorate. So I'm gonna reinforce those folds. Oh yeah, that's a good one. I'm excited. I'm excited for next month. It'll be fun. All right, we've got our little puppy heart here with this. I think we're gonna need to use some more of this paper so it ties in. And I think we're just gonna cut it down and it's gonna go on this flap, okay? And then I think we're probably gonna put our puppy on top of this one. So maybe, we'll see, we'll see. So let us see, what is the measurements of this one again? This one was 4 by 4.25. So we need to cut this down to 3.75 by 4. That's, if I did that right, 3.75. Let's check that again. Measure twice, cut once. So we need it to be 3.25 across. Okay. Oops, I don't want to show something. Yeah, next week's release, you guys, is pretty awesome. So we're going to cut this down quite a bit. But like I said, the biggest part of this for me was the puppy paw prints. 3.25. Okay. So that looks like that's going to fit there. And then we're going to cut some off the bottom here. I said, I think it was, what did I say it was? 4.5. So this needs to be 4.25. Nope, it's got to be shorter than that because that's not right. Okay, it needs to be 4. 4. So I'm just cutting down by 1/2 inch. That's why I said you don't need any special measurements for this because you can use whatever size you want, and you could do 1/8 of an inch, you can do 1/4 of an inch, but so we're gonna do that. So that's gonna go in here. Let's add that. So I have to finish my other canvas. You know what, Francie? It is starting to make me, I loving tone on tone, to be honest with you. And I'm really loving a monochromatic. Do you remember I did those black on black cards not too long ago with the black glaze on the black of the Raven? Oh, and those are some of my favorite cards I've ever made. So we've got this. And like I said, it can go this way. It can go this way. But now we need some other color here. I think I'm going to do we're going to do something else with buttercream here. And then I pulled a couple of the paper pads. I pulled the vintage maps and I pulled the spring floral because the vintage maps I thought was fun because she's so far away from me. And there was a yellow one here that had the brown. There's that one. Actually, that's not the one I was looking for. I wanted the other one. Let's see. I think this is this might be out of stock, and I apologize, but I wanted to use some of that paper. Yeah, so we'll do that. Let's just kind of toss this off to the side here. We'll put that away later. But I really thought this would be fun, and I'm thinking that might go in here. So this is just an A2 card, so it's 4.25 by 5.5. So let's go ahead and cut this down. We're going to cut it down to 4. And I'm actually going to keep the compass in there because I'm north of her. So I think that's kind of a fun little play on that. And then 5.5. So we got to cut it down to 5.25. So we're going to do, let's see, that's 5.5 there. And we'll cut a quarter off the top. We're going to try to leave that north on there. Let's see. Yep, we got the north on there. And I'm going to be honest with you. These little scraps, I'm actually going to throw away. Once upon a time, I probably would have kept those. But not anymore. So then we've got this, and that's going to go right here, which I think is fun. See, once you cover it up, got all that beautiful yellow. We're going to have a little bit of white. Oh, Francie, this is one of my favorites. I might have 3 or 4 of them. So, because I think it's a fun one. And we'll add a little bit of color on here. And actually, I'm thinking about doing a little bit of stamping on here. Do you remember last week during our live, I used that script stamp? Let's see if I've got it handy here. Yeah. We're going to use this script stamp. And I know I've already stamped it down. We're going to go a little crazy with it. And we're going to stamp some more. We're going to add in, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to add this in. And I think I'm going to, just going to use a piece of copy paper. Kind of mask off the side here a little bit. We're going to add a little black. I know we're going with a yellow card, but we have black with the stamp. We got the brown. So I'm going to add a little bit of color. And I think we're going to do the brown, not so much the black. So let's do that. And then where's my other one? Let's put this right here to hold that in place. I'm going to grab my favorite brown ink, which is this Weeping Willow by Simon Hurley. And I'm just going to, I don't care if it's perfect. I'm just going to put a little, because this is just going to add a little bit of fun little writing on our card. Just a little extra texture. It's just for some fun. Just a little bit here and there. And I think we need a little bit up at the top. No, I'm going to leave it like that, actually. Just a little bit. Oh, I know, but I still have to whisper because then I got to pretend that it's not true. Right? All right, so we've got that little bit of texture on there. Now this might take a minute to dry because it's a glossier paper, so I'm gonna Keep that a little bit. And then you know what? We got to add some shimmer. And you know what I'm going to do to add for shimmer. So we're going to flip these over and underneath. Because you know what my favorite shimmer is. We got to add a little shimmer so it starts to dry. So we got time yet. We're going to add some of the most beautiful shimmer, the ornament gold. And look at, it's almost empty. I think I have an extra somewhere. I'm going to have to find it. It's got to be here somewhere. I know I ordered one. I'm just kind of mixing it off to get all the little gold bits inside. And we're just going to spritz it over the top. I'm just going to add just a little bit of shimmer, and I'm going to do a little bit. Oops. On that. And then we're going to let this dry for a few minutes. All right. We're actually going to just kind of hit that again and speed it up a little bit. So, because if we're going to have a sunshine card, we need shimmer, right? Okay. And then I actually think I am going to, there's a couple big dots there. We're going to just kind of dab at it so it's not quite so bubbly there. All right. So that's not 1,000% dry, but it's going to work. Just got to make sure I wipe this off here. All right, we got that. We've got this. So now we need to put something on this page. And this is where I thought we could go with some more of that buttercream. And I think I'm going to cut it down so it's the right size first. I don't know what that is, Francie. I am very intrigued by that. I wish I knew what that was. That sounds wonderful. All right, my fun Brutus Monroe Create Your Own Ending, a ruler. I said this one was 3 by 4. So we need 2.75 by 3.75. So put this off to the side a little bit to dry. I don't know, Sarah, if you're still watching, but I'm doing math again. 2.75. Actually, let's do it this way first. 2.75 by 3.75. And then we're going to make sure that's the right that I did, because I think I only measured once this time. Put my little pieces off to the side here. I mean, I have a little bit of old stuff, but I don't have probably as much old stuff as you do, Francie. I have some surface inks. Okay, so that's going to be perfect, which is going to tie into this color perfectly too. Ha ha ha. Francie, we love you for it. Now you get to join in, but you can now you just got to do part of the CYOE challenge, and then we're gonna gift certificate or store credit. So that is going to be perfect there. We just need to add something fun to this one, and it's not going to dry in time, so I can't use the pearl, but I'm thinking maybe we'll do some tone on tone blending. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this fun stencil. This is that retro flower stencil. And we're just going to lay it in here. I'm going to do it just like this. We're just going to put this down, and we're just going to do some yellow blending on it. So I'm going to grab some Slippery When Wet. Yes, I know. I forced you. Yeah, they are. Oz is my favorite. I have them. They're in a drawer over right there. No, they're in a drawer back over there, so I don't accidentally grab them and use them. I have some surface sprays too, but not too many left. Those are almost gone. I've used those up. All right, so we're gonna do a little tone on tone. And the fun thing about this stencil is that we get the layering stencil. You can stop right there, and you could put a circle in the middle with like a die cut if you had it, and you would have a perfect thing. Now, I don't put these in my stencil bath because I just can wipe this up with a little bit of mixture of water and alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. So I just put those off to the side. But we are going to do, and we're going to layer this one up next. So I'm going to use the center point of the flower and then layer it up on the petals that I already did. Kind of just lines up just perfect. And we'll put this down, hold this, and we're gonna grab a different yellow. We're gonna do a couple yellows. I don't know if this one will show up, but this one will. So I've got this one. Now we're gonna use the shooting star. I'm just gonna quick wipe this off. We'll use the shooting star. And I haven't used this stencil yet, so I'm excited to use it because there's very cute flowers. And actually, we could make this one super shimmery. Should we make this one super shimmery? What do you guys think? Because if we're making a sunshine card, we should make it nice and shimmery. Should we cover it with some embossing powder, the whole thing? I'll even use tongs, Francie. All right, so there we've got, and look at the fun. I'm going to pull that up closer so you can see that. Look at the fun tone on tone. It is a little bit hard to see on camera, the color difference, but in person, there's just a hint of darkness where those two different colors match. I missed out on the color bursts. They were still available when I first, but I didn't buy them and I regret that. Thank you, Francie. That's the plan, is to have a happy card. Now this is, if I was going to do this and let it set aside to dry, I probably would ink blend the leaves and I would do some sort of sparkly centers, like maybe with the gilded, and make it super, super, like shimmery, like the gilded or the gold chroma glaze. But we're going to go ahead and just use a color, and then we're going to, Penny surprised me. Oh, color you surprise. Okay, I read that wrong. This one might not show up a ton because it's a very light ink. Oh, we gotta put this down. But it's enough that's going to give us a hint of not the same color. We probably could have done a little brown in here. But I have a couple of stamp sets I was lucky enough to get that were being destashed, that were sold out before I discovered Brutus Monroe. One of them is a Halloween set that I just adore, that I was super happy to get. There's two different ones that were sold out and gone before I was introduced. Okay. So we did lots of yellow. It's very, very colored. Okay, something's going on with my computer. Something came up. Excuse me. Let me get some pop-up came up. There we go. All right. So, like I said, it's just fun little color. And I'm thinking, hopefully I'm not going to ruin it right here. But we're going to go ahead and put that down. Now, I will tell you, Simon Hurley inks don't dry super fast. So you can actually do this with, we got to use my favorite. We're not using icicle. With it, and it would just stick to the ink. But I want to do the whole panel because we're going to make it super shimmery. All right, and I'm only going to do half of it at a time. So you can see here where it's sticking right here to the floral. And then because I don't know if you can see that in the shimmery, but because his inks stay wet just a little bit longer. They don't stay quite as wet as like a distressed oxide, but they stay wet longer. All right, Francie, here you go. Just for you. Just for you, because it is a smaller piece of paper, even though I didn't do the whole thing. All right. This is the magic. We got to let, if we can, we got to let that shimmer glaze dry because we want to add that to our card. So. All right. Okay. So I want to see, you can see the difference. And I'm going to try to get that shimmer so you can kind of see it. But in person, it really shimmers. It's not just shiny. It also shimmers like glitter. All right. So we're gonna let that dry for a minute, get cool off a minute. Put this on this side. My inks are really juicy because I re-inked everything for last week's live. And like I said, I haven't done a whole lot since last week's live. I busy doing other stuff that so they're super juicy. All right, put that off to the side. All right, we better make Francie proud here. Thank you, Francie. I promise I'm very careful. All right, perfect. Look at how fun and happy that is. Got that little bit of pattern. We made our own little pattern paper that way. And that's getting there. It's not drying all the way yet. All right. That give this a little bit of chance to dry. Oh my gosh, my desk is a mess. So usually after my live, I go downstairs for about an hour or so. And then when I say I come to bed, I come up and I clean off my desk as much as I can because otherwise I'm never going to start crafting tomorrow. Okay, we're going to eyeball this. All right, so there we go. Oh yes, thank you, Francie. Yes, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And I'm streaming live on a few places. I'm streaming live on a couple on my YouTube channel and the Brutus Monroe YouTube channel, Christopher Allen's YouTube channel, and on Facebook. If you want to see my live specifically, you can subscribe to on my channel. If you want to see all of us, which I highly tell you to, because we have an amazing team of people that go live, subscribe to Brutus Monroe or subscribe to both. That's perfect. Helps us get in the algorithms. Look at that, you guys. And of course, this color was the same color as this, but it changed once we added all that to it. But I'm loving the color. So we've got this. So now we have to come up and figure out what we're going to do with it. So we've got our little puppies here somewhere. They're hiding under all of my stuff. And I'm thinking the puppies have to go on here. And I think we're going to put them over here. So they're pretty much, I want them to be hidden. Okay. So we're going to use some liquid glue. And yeah, I still have my, I do have my glue press, but I haven't played enough with it to see if I fixed it since I changed glues from the original to my thicker Barely Arts glue. And I figured I wasn't going to play with that tonight. All right, so we're just going to pull this over. So it's hidden right here. Okay. And then I'm going to actually put this like this because this is where we're going to have a little bit of fun. I am going to use this brown ink and we're going to do a couple of sentiments. And move this here quick. Now, my favorite sentiment. Does anyone know what my favorite sentiment is? It's the very first one I have. Oh, yeah, it is super shimmery. It is from this stamp set, and it is Miss Your Face. So we're going to use that because I miss her face. Even though when we talk, we only video chat, so I always see her face. But I think I'm going to put that right here on the front. We're going to put that one right on the front. Oops. And of course, now that it doesn't like the shimmeriness, so it's got all fuzzy. Hey, come on, YouTube. Stop being fuzzy. And then we got our little purple heart hogs here, which we can stamp one of the sentiments. And then we need something here. I don't quite know what I want to do yet. I have an idea. But actually, no. We're going to put the Miss Your Face in here. I know why. Because guess what I pulled out? I looked up. This is still in stock. This is the space cutting die. And I think if you look, this will fit perfectly around that. Isn't that fun? So we're going to do that. And I don't believe I had some Yellow Brick Road glitter glaze, but it's out of stock. So I didn't want to use that. Do you care if I use it, you guys? Is it okay? Or should I use the spice? You know what? We're going to change it up. We're going to use the spiced because I have the spice right here. You just used this dye last night. Awesome. So I'm going to, you know, it's not quite, it's a variation, but we have a little brown. We're going to use this. So I got to cut this out quick. So excuse me. I'm going to turn around, go here behind here and cut it out. I forgot to do that. I was looking through my dye stash for a different dye and I saw this and I remember seeing it was in stock the other day. So, all right, let's get it cut out here. Gotta use the big die cutting machine for this one. Hopefully my sandwich was tight enough. Sometimes I got a lump in my thingy. All right, we gotta cut it one more time. So what I do is I just put it back in place because I didn't quite get it cut out properly. And okay, it's not gonna sit in there today. And we're not gonna mess with that during the live. I will re-die cut that out after. Yeah, I thought so. I saw the spice and I put it back and then I got it out. So I'm gonna use that. Let me pull over my die cut. I am gonna die cut that off camera because it's just easier. All right. I'm gonna die cut it out a couple times to make sure it's nice and cut. Sometimes my machine is a little finicky depending on my plates. Awesome. Look at all that cut out perfectly. So yeah, I thought it might be perfect. And then we're just going to pull it out. Look at how nice that cut. I ran it back and forth twice, but if you're having difficulty, sometimes it's because of your plates. I have a plate that's a little warped. So that is why I said that I needed to run it through a second time. Let's grab my pokey tool here. I like to poke up from the back. Okay, we're getting close to we're going to run over just a little bit, but not much. Not much. And I will tell you, there are some little fun stars that you can keep out of some of the centers. I probably won't use those tonight just because I might put them on after here and there, but we're going to poke this out. So I should have had this part done ahead of time. Okay. Almost done here. Does anyone have any fun plans for the weekend? I know last weekend some crafty people had SET. So I thought that's kind of a fun thing. Said I'm going to take the dog for a walk in the morning. We usually go out and walk. And now that the weather's nice, I just let him run and his tag is hanging. And then I'll look at him and he's like, "Are you ready to go home?" And he runs over to the truck and looks at me like, "Yep, let's go, mama." And then he's good for the rest of the day. And I've been getting up a little earlier because it's been light out so I can walk him because he likes other dogs, but he always barks and like, so. All right. So we're going to do this, and then I think we're going to stamp it and heat. And your plans are to sleep. Oh, that's right. You went to the zoo last night, and you said that. And tomorrow you're going back to St. Louis to see the fox, to see a show. What show? Hopefully things don't start blowing around. I had to go turn my fan on. All right, let's get this glued down. Noelle, that is, well, Nikki, I know it's Nikki. I'm sorry. Sometimes I look up. Usually I'm lucky if I usually get up before that during the week, and I'm lucky if Fletch lets me sleep in until till 8. But I walked him yesterday morning. I don't always walk him on Thursdays, and I noticed that I had set the alarm a little earlier to make sure I woke myself up, so that we had a little bit more time. And we have a neighbor lady who likes to walk her dog around the same time as we do. She usually walks it all the time. And like I said, Fletch will bark at him like, "Hi, hi, hi," his tail wagging. And then we get close and he kind of growls. And I just don't want to chance him being a butthead. And he pulls and stuff. So I've been walking him. And we only walk in town a couple days a week. The rest of the time he's out running loose in like fields and things like that. So I got up a little earlier yesterday and it was like perfect. So I was like, that's what we're doing again this morning. So I got up at 6:30 and we were out the door and we are back in our house by 7:10. So Kimberly Akimbo. Oh, that'll be fun. Yes. Full report at our next live. All right. So I just added a little glue, just some dabbers. That is perfect. And then we're going to line this up in my Misty, which I have to take out my stamp because I was actually going to restamp it and I didn't. And I just stuck it down and we're going to stick this puppy in here. And we're going to have to do it this way, which is fine. Stick it there, stick it there. That doesn't. We're going to stick this down right here in the center. Going to do a little anti-static powder tool because I think we're going to put that icicle in. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, I'm looking at it. It's looking close. It's looking close. So we might be able to put it in. I might have to leave it open. Missed your face. Gonna stamp that on a couple times because my Simon Hurley inks need to be re-inked. Haven't done that. That won't be this weekend. Well, it might be next weekend. I need to just grab a few of them, put them in a box, and take them downstairs. Actually, we might just leave it like that. I don't think I'm going to put the embossing powder on it. I like it just like that. So there's our stamping. We're going to do this one more stamping thing yet tonight. So here is, we've got this and we've got this. We do need something on the front. And I think what I wanted to do with it was I grabbed one more stamp set. We're kind of heavy stamp sets tonight. I grabbed the Sunny Sentiments. And I love the pack that it says, it doesn't have to be perfect, just right. I like the world is a brighter place because of you. Be your own sunshine. Where did I find shine bright in all your colors? Sunshine is my favorite color. Never stop chasing rainbows. Life is short. Live it. When you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine. So I thought this would be fun. And I thought this is the one I wanted to use, is be your own sunshine. It is this one. Okay, this one. There we go. That one. Thank you, Penny. Penny, thank you, thank you. Yeah, the glitter stock does not like that. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab it. Which one did I say? Be your own sunshine. Now, I know the stamps are in stock. I do not believe the stamps, the dies are. If they are, fabulous. If not, I'm sorry. I'm going to use them. And we're going to grab our Misty. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to stamp it down. And we're going to use that brown ink again, I think, because it's just going to tie in nicely. Oh, that fan is loud, but it helped cool things off tremendously. Thank you, Penny. I try to not have the, I mean, that I know that shiny glitter stuff. Get that out of the way. That's why it's not, does not, cameras do not like that. All right, where's my perfect press? There we go. Like I told you, this needs to be re-inked. I didn't even notice that, so I appreciate that, Penny. Awesome. All right, one more time. We need a little bit more on the your. Okay. One of the best things about this next week coming is that my mom and sister, we're going to make homemade tortillas and refried beans. I'm so excited. It's been a long time since I've had them. I need to make them more often. I just don't. And I even have this small batch recipe. I just don't ever make them. Okay, so we're going to line up our dies again. Be your own sunshine. And actually, I don't know for sure. This might not be what we put on. I might put this on the inside, guys. Because like I said, I don't think you'll be terribly mad if I go over by 10, 15 minutes. Unless anyone's got some place to be. I think I'm going to change my mind. We're going to do something else real quick. A little extra die cutting, if that's okay with you guys. Be your own sunshine. Because I don't want to lose this. I'll put that in my tape gun stand. Let's check out our player because I'm thinking this is really close to being dry. Very close. Gotta chop this down a little bit. Where did anyone see where my cutter went? There it is. And we're gonna cut it off the bottom. Yay, okay. I didn't think you'd be too upset with me. Cut 1/4 inch off the bottom. I'm gonna be very careful because it's not 1000% dry, but it's fairly close. And I'm just gonna go, so what I do is I go halfway between the two little squares on one side, and it's still a little tacky, so we gotta be a little careful. And then we're gonna go 1/2 inch, and then we could go to the fork. So that kind of cut off that's perfect on each side. And actually it wasn't perfect. There's a little bit right there, but that's fine. Only I can see that. And then I think what I like is that I'm gonna just stick it down right there and cover that spot that I don't like. Okay. And this is the inside of the card, so I'm not going to pop it up. You could cut several dies out and pop it up, but I think we're just gonna be, you're gonna be your own sunshine. I'm gonna put that down right there, which I think is perfect. This is gonna go on the inside of my card, which, like I said, it's not 1000% dry yet, so I'm just gonna leave that for now, but you get the point. See? And then, so let's put this off to the dry for, let's get one more thing. Okay, so we have a couple of options. And my options are, I pulled a very, an older die set out. And it is the Ravishing Rainbow add-on. And I believe it is in stock. This is what it looks like. And you get this rainbow, you get the sun, you get some clouds, and you get a smile. So I think I'm gonna grab the sun and the inside piece here, and I'm gonna grab the smile. And I'm not gonna do the clouds. I don't think I'm gonna do the clouds. So I'm gonna grab them and I'm gonna put this, and we're gonna make a sun right here on the front and put a smile down below. I think that is exactly what I want to do. So we are gonna grab, and this is where we can add a little bit of that buttercream. So I covered up the other parts of the buttercream. Trying to grab a piece of paper out of my bin here. I got some buttercream, and I'm thinking what we'll do is I'm going to cut a small piece of the spiced cardstock, and that can be this backside. Yep. Okay. Thank you. I thought it was still in stock because I've been meaning to use it. I just keep forgetting to grab it. Oh, and I got a poke fancy yet. Okay. I just hit my die. I need a bigger desk. So we've got that. Can I get my smile? We're going to cut the smile out of the same thing. Oh, it's Annie. And then there's the arch dot. It's the arch box. If that, Penny, is that still in stock? The arch die? Is the arch box still in stock? I will show that because that goes with it. It's a fun one. I don't use it that often. My dies are the next thing I really need to organize. Thank you. The Ravishing Rainbow add-on. So we're going to do that. And then we just need a small circle center. So we're gonna have to run this through the die cut a couple times. Put this to the side. All right. So we've got our little sunbursts. We've got our little smile. So we're gonna be, thank you, the arched die. Okay, so the arched box die set is this one. So this is the arched box die set. So you get this really big, and so you cut 2 of these out and it will make a box. And then you get, and it's on this piece of paper, you'll get the word enjoy. And then this little fork thing is like a flower pick that you can stick the tag in, the enjoy, and then there's a bubble. So this is only $5, guys. So in the box, I think I have one very close. Nope, I don't. I had a box somewhere I had put together, but I must have moved it, so I can't show it to you. And then you can get the Ravishing Rainbow add-on, and the rainbow dye part, the rainbow part fits on the box. And if you got the magnet, if you did the Merry Making event 2 years ago and got the wreath, the magnificent wreath, I believe that also fits on it, which is awesome. Now, this is normally something I actually kind of keep because I can get a little heart dye out of that. The other one was small enough, I threw it. All right, we got to get moving here because we got to finish this up. Because, yeah, it likes a little card box or can. It's very, very cute. I have been meaning to use it and I haven't. I have, like I said, I have the box somewhere, but I'm not sure what I did with it. It's full of gnomes, old die cut gnomes that I have stamped out. There are several of our the dies of the month that are on sale for $5. I know the Tea for Two one is. There was quite a few that were on sale. I saw the other day. I might have ordered a second one of some of them. All right, so we're gonna put that on here. Now I will say, when I use glitter stock, I like to use a thick. I don't like to use dry glue. I like to use a liquid glue because I think it sits on there better. So we've got that. So let's get our little sunshine here. I'm going to put this down like this. We're going to put our sunshine on here. You could pop it up, but since I'm going to mail this and it's already thick enough, I'm going to leave it the way it is. I'm going to leave my sun right there. And we're going to put the smile down below. And we're almost done. And then we're also putting this on top of glitter stock, or I mean embossing powder that's dry. So it can, you need a better glue, a really nice glue to put that down. Okay, we got that. All right. Oh, well, Kate, sometimes if I plan it out, I tend to end a little early. If I don't plan it out super early, sometimes I don't have time because I'm busy creating. All right, so now in that stamp set, there was an I'm proud of you and I love you. You could also put that in right here or over here. And then we've got this. So let us we're going to add that centerpiece and call it an evening. I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to use liquid glue. Oh, we got to add some gems too. So Francie, do you got your goggles on? If you're still here with us. And I'm going to center this as best I can. And this has two folds. It hides my my flaps. And then I still have room to write a message in here. You can write a little message here. You could put white paper here and write your messages on here. All right, she's ready. All right. We're gonna put this down. And then I got my topaz. That just happens to be out. We're gonna grab some topaz and got my little stick here. Francie's ready. I'm gonna add one right here on top of the tittle for the eye. And we're gonna add a couple here. And 3 here. We'll do 3 here. And then there's got 1 there, 4, 5, 6. And we'll put 1, 7, 8, and I'm going to put 1 there. So we have 9 total. Okay, here we go. Francie's ready. Poke, poke, poke. So those of you who might be new or haven't seen, I have this fancy little wax tipped, I think it's for perler beads that a friend of mine gave. Oh, I pulled that right off, didn't I? It didn't stick on the glue. And it is kind of 3D and it makes it kind of look like I'm poking you. It's not really that long, but it looks really long. And the very first time I used it, it was pretty funny that it was like that. Okay, so this one is not sticking to the glitter glue. Oh, come on. Here we go. It's giving me fits tonight. I haven't used it in a while, so All right, guys, we are almost finished. Thank you for joining me. Sorry kept you a little later. I don't know what for sure we're going to use next week. If you have any suggestions that you would like to see me play with or use, you're welcome to call it out in the fan club group or actually put it in the comments down below one of these videos. I'm very much open to playing with pretty much anything. Not that I won't plan something out, but sometimes it's nice to ask. That one doesn't want to stick. All right, guys. So if that comes off, I'll stick it down after the live. I'm not going to fuss with it on live. All right. So last but not least, I'm going to be very careful because of the glitter stock and just touch that there, hook up that extra glue, touch that there, pick up that extra glue. And there we go, you guys. Thank you. Oh, thank you guys so much. You know what, Kate? It's easier. I lose them all the time too. Okay, I missed something up here. Oh yeah, that time. Yeah, when Christopher saw it that first time and he was like, holy moly, what? That was pretty funny. I still laugh thinking about that too. All right, you guys. So here's our sunshine card. Fun fold for the CYOE challenge. And this is my little hug. I may still add one of the sentiments from that stamp set. I think I might do, I'm so proud of you, or I love you. I might stick that in here yet, right here, before I mail it. And then we've got our flap. And then we got our flap up here to be your own sunshine. So there you go. So I hope you guys had a great evening. Yep, my gems are falling off, so I'll have to fix that one. Thank you for joining me tonight. I will see you next week. Don't forget to stay tuned for Sarah on Monday, Christopher Tuesday, Walter and Sean on Wednesday. And I will be back next week, you guys. Okay, have a great evening. Bye now.